recent rain has turned the oil and gas fields of Australia's deserts into a garden. Operations like Dunn's Earthmoving supply the infrastructure support and services to keep the barrels of oil flowing. Here in the Petroleum oil field in the Strzelecki Desert, Dunn's base camp is as big as a small town. And in this remote place, the 4 Cat trucks in the Dunn fleet will not see a sealed road for years at a time. One day a Cat truck can be hauling a tanker to suppress dust on access roads, and the next lifting heavy machinery on a float. And the day after shifting livestock in the Dunn's cattle operation. The applications of these trucks redefine the meaning of versatility. Neil Dunn has made a life and a business in Australia's remote desert country.
We saw the opportunity in the mining industry. We started off in a very small way though. And we started off with a small company being Stewart Petroleum. And sort of as they grew, we sort of grew with them and got a bit more gear and went from 1 truck and 1 grader, and we had just a hired scraper. Ended up last year and that was 10 scrapers and 30 trucks.
This is the main port of call, I suppose you'd call it. This is where everyone calls to. A lot of the incoming work calls as far as clients and things like that, and also guys from the field. So this is where everyone calls to and from when they're coming or going.
We got the Cat trucks in a couple of years ago for a trial, and they've been pretty successful.
Yeah, they
in the desert. Yeah, the boys really like them to operate. They're really good to drive and smooth, and the ones with the bunks, they've got enormous bunks on them, so the odd time they spend in the bunks, it's pretty good.
They've definitely stood the test of time to date, and obviously out here there's some of the roughest roads in Australia, so to last out here and to maintain the durability and the structural integrity and everything like that, it's been really good.
The Cat trucks were sold to the Dunn operation through Adelaide-based Cav Power.
Well, they're running the Cat CT630 LS, which is the luxury sleeper cab, 90 tonne rated. They're running cross locks in these trucks because of all the sand work they do. They're used for road train and also single trailer work, a lot of float work using pulling quite heavy machines, probably 45 tonne, like a D8.
Coming from Petroleum, everyone would come in. We'd have a crew change from here, and then everyone sort of heads out from here to the job sites. That's once every 3 weeks on a 3-week rotation, and the management and admin and trade staff are all on 2 off rosters. So we sort of work it all in with that. Obviously flights, we fly to and from Moomba, and we're about 85 k's southwest of Moomba. So we drive out here and drive back into Moomba for the flights, obviously.
Bowers is a large oil treatment facility being constructed by the Dunn operation. It's in its final stages of completion. This will be a tank farm, an oil and water separation facility, and evaporation ponds. This job is being run by Neil's son, William.
My son's, he's come on board now and he's the general manager, so that makes it a lot easier for me. That lightens the load.
Basically what we're doing is hooking up our truck to the pump in the pond to get water to water the roads. We've got a wide range of things that our trucks do within the fleet. Predominantly they're on water trucks, but they are used occasionally for other things, flat tops or small floats, this sort of thing. So it's a very wide-ranging use of them. They seem to accommodate well to each of the things we need them for.
And while the heavy machinery of Dunn's Earthmoving completes the complex earthworks at the Petroleum facility, Neil Dunn's other interest, a nearby cattle property, is in the middle of the annual muster. Clifton Hill Station, with more than 3 million acres, is one of the biggest cattle stations in Australia. Neil Dunn inspects the cattle with his station manager, Peter Nunn. The stockman may give drafting or sorting out the cattle for trucking. The muster continues as the CT630LS hooks up to a 4-deck road train and heads out to Karathunkney Yard to load. The track for this interpaddock lift is rough, the main roadway still wet from recent rains. But the power of the Cat truck is more than equal to the challenges.
Product again, going back to that, we're running a 550 Cat engine in that, which is turbo intercooled, 550 horsepower, 1850 foot-pound of torque, running at 18-speed double overdrive transmission and Meritor diffs. Primax is the rear suspension. Just a good, honest package that's proving itself to be very reliable out here.
The cattle are loaded. Driver Cameron Nunn wants to get over the rough before it gets dark. With loaded double-decker trailers, the going is treacherous and the pressure is on the driver. With constant throttle and gentle hands, Cam Nunn keeps the outfit on its feet. The business outlook has not been bright since the global price for oil crashed, but Neil Dunn is optimistic.
Since the oil prices went from $110 to $26, they shut all the rigs down, and mining companies shut shop as such, but then just started when the oil prices back up to sort of high 40s and 50s, and they've cranked up again now. So we had for 5 or 6 months, we're pretty quiet. Just a bit of maintenance, a bit of road maintenance. We're back in sort of swing again now. Got some rigs cranked up.
Both owners and drivers agree that the Cat trucks are doing a good job in the desert.
When they first came into the Dunn's fleet, I was fortunate enough to drive them fairly early on in the piece. And yeah, I find them very comfortable, very easy to drive. Certainly I like the bonnet configuration. It certainly gives you much more peripheral view on the road. And yeah, generally they're a very nice, comfortable truck to drive.
The test is ongoing, obviously, on the equipment and the trucks and the truck themselves and the structural integrity and all that sort of thing. But at the moment, handling it fantastically and holding up really well, and they've been a great addition to our fleet.
We've always got Cat racing and the Cat mechanics in Moonbury out looking at other machinery. They can take an eye on them. We can just run them into town and get repairs on them. Whereas all our other trucks, there's no other dealers or mechanics. We've got to sort of do it all ourselves, especially with fault general stuff to write. But when you get to fault finding, it's good having the Cat dealer in town. So that's a big plus for them. But they've proved pretty good so far. As I said, this country is very hard on any sort of machinery.